Smile, girls. You hear this, guys? I think I'm still in Vegas. Hi, guys. Hello. Okay. Edgar, cut it. So Edgar, guys, is our DJ / bartender.
Making it happen.
Okay. Tip your bartender, ladies and gentlemen. His name is Papi. Papi Chulo. And we want to actually thank our sponsor, Stay Savvy from she does amazing jobs. Look at this. The champagne cart is from her. And today we're going to be serving our little mimosas for all these beautiful women in real estate. So I know you guys.
Okay.
Thank you, Edgar. Oh, thank you, Papi. Yeah. So just a little cheers, guys, because let me tell you, it's been one hell of a year. Last year, this year, forget it. I'm over it. I'm so over it. I don't know if all of you guys are over it. And I have Michelle right over here, Edgar over here. And we were just, we are so thankful that we got them together so that we could talk about what is going on in this crazy world, in this crazy real estate market. So let's introduce Isabel, Yahaira, and Heather. Woo! These are my girls since like many, many years ago in the real estate industry. Each come with an amazing background. And I thought it would just be so wonderful to get the local community together with our women and talk real estate. I encourage you, and Michelle will be right behind the scenes with any questions you have. In life, guys, I really think and believe and feel if you don't ask, you'll never know, right? So if there's something curious you always wanted to know about Heather, Yahaira, or Isabel, or me, we're all here for you. Super casual, no script. We're all here to lay it down. So let's go and start with Heather. Talk to us, Heather. Who are you?
Who am I? I ask myself this question every single morning. And I'm pretty fabulous.
It's so hard to get an answer on that.
Yeah, I never know who I am. But, I've been in El Paso for 11 years now as a transport from Chicago.
Okay.
So I am from a big windy city, but a Midwestern girl.
Oh.
And so I came here, I got my license pretty quickly, and I've been in the business for 11 years. We've known each other for super, super long time, maybe 8 years.
It's probably going on 8, because I mentioned, your first company was Century 21?
No, with KB.
KB?
Yeah, so I started there.
Okay.
Then I started, and then it was like a love-hate relationship, and then you learn things as you go, and as you become a more advanced agent, you figure out, like, okay, what company is the right fit for me, blah, blah, blah. So I went there. Then I went to ERA. That's probably where we met.
Yes.
And then that's where we became on a team together.
Yes.
And that was super, super fun. Then we went to Keller Williams. Then we went back to ERA. Then we went back to, I went a lot of places.
I did, okay, what Isabel said, and I say it respectfully, but real estate verbiage. I've been around.
Okay.
I've been around.
Same.
Yeah.
Isabel and Yahaira probably too. We'll get to them in a moment.
Yeah.
So small brokerages, big franchise companies. Tell us a little bit, where did you go from ERA after?
Okay, so after ERA, I went directly to Home Pros.
Yeah.
And Home Pros is awesome because I feel like for me, I'm in a place where I don't need babysitting. Of course, the tools are always great, but they're very accessible no matter where you go.
Yeah.
So if you are a more seasoned agent and you don't need handholding, I personally don't want to have my pay taken away from me to split with a broker if I don't necessarily utilize them.
Correct.
So Home Pros is a flat fee and it's awesome. And I've never gone into the office, like maybe a couple times. I
kind of virtually anyways.
Yeah.
What you do. Right?
I do it from home, my car.
Yeah.
Wherever, that's the best thing about real estate is we can do it.
Yes, and especially pre-COVID, it was kind of like the same way as well. And I kind of feel that we transitioned into that kind of virtual world already. So Yahaira, tell us a little bit about your background.
Okay, Yahaira.
Yahaira.
Yeah, it has to be Yahaira. So I'm from Dominican Republic. I came to El Paso 12 years ago from New York.
Yes.
So, and I met you.
This is a good story, guys.
Because Jackie sold our house. In 2012.
Yes.
So I know you since then.
Yeah.
So she was your motivation to become a realtor?
Well, maybe not the motivation. What or was I?
Yeah, Jackie's like,
I was the motivation.
You see,
She's like, I could do this.
you never know, but I think that's when we started like to look into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to give you that.
Oh, well, I take it with humbleness.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So and I started with Century 21. I didn't sell anything there. So I was there for only 3 months, and then I moved to ERA.
Yes.
So I've been home pros with 2 years now, and so far it's been fun. It's super fun, and I get to hang,
I love that.
friends forever.
Oh, and
I know.
I know this took care. Let me see. Since when?
A
Like
long
forever.
time.
Like
my
oh my
whole life
goodness.
practically.
I think I
Feels like it.
I was born with you.
Yeah,
I
we
was
were
always, my birthday's on the second, and then hers is on the third. So we kind of like right there.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're like
yeah.
we're
Yeah.
birthday twins. But
Yeah, you see, well, that's a good thing because I love the women
And
can
I'm
always.
sorry, and we look
Yeah.
alike. You see?
Yeah, you see,
Look at
I knew the reason.
I look at Dominican?
And I have the same color. Yeah.
I love it. And what about Isabel? Isabel, talk to us a little bit, honey bunch. I know you from a long time ago, and I know Isabel. You were actually in law enforcement too. Are you still?
Yeah, I'm not anymore, no, but
Okay,
I know
okay.
you were as well,
Yeah.
which I think is
Yeah.
awesome. So
I
I
was
started, you were too?
You too?
Why we're so cool.
What the heck?
I need
That's what I
to
came
do
to
something.
Yeah, you're not included in this area.
I'll step
You're a
away.
transport.
You're a transport.
Sound like those brides that you like pay for.
Oh man,
What are they called?
A mail order bride, that's what you sounded like.
You're an escort.
Oh, my mother's wanting
Sorry, Mom.
Oh wow. Truth is out.
So you came from? So were you in law enforcement first?
I was not actually.
Okay.
I started 12 years ago, and I started at Century 21 as well, which I think it was amazing for me. Century 21, I started with Andrew, and he has always been amazing.
Yeah.
So everything that I know, I have to give it to him, just because he's always been so ethical, and he taught me the right way, which I think is important for new realtors.
Mhm.
I think they need to have somebody that's going to be there and guide them the right way, versus if they were to start at another brokerage that they don't have that guidance. I think it's very important. But anyways, yeah, I started 12 years ago, and then I went into law enforcement. It was a little tough with the kids, so got out, went back to real estate, and been doing that since. So.
And that's kind of the same thing too. When I was an SO, it was 5 years. I had a lot of shift work. I don't know if you had the shift work.
And there's always overtime. Always overtime.
Always overtime.
Yeah.
I wanted to make the money because I just wanted to make the money. I would do like overtime, but I never, I couldn't, plan the birthday parties. I couldn't, I would have to
Chores.
leave in Thanksgiving dinner
Yeah.
while everybody was eating. So I know how tough that could have been, especially kids and so forth like that. So we've kind of talked about a little bit the background of where we've come from. So together, how long have you been in the real estate industry?
11 years.
11? 8? 12? And I'm going on 15 in July. What?
You win. You win.
I
Great, so
I'm
it's
good.
That's 27, 38. How many did you say? And
8.
38. 46 years.
So 46 years of real estate years here.
Makes
So
us sound old though.
it does kind of make us sound old. Like I don't want to tell you how old I'm going to turn in
You,
August.
you started real estate when you were like, what, 12?
That's
That's what I always say.
I was about 12 years old. But anyways, long story short, we've kind of climbed the ladder, and the reason why I mentioned that is because each of us started somewhere. And when you start somewhere and you're a new agent, you really don't know what to expect in real estate at all. Like some of us have mentioned, we're with smaller, brokerages, boutique brokerages, things like that. Then you go to the franchise brokerages, and they have different type of tools to teach and so forth. What can you tell? And I'm going to ask each of these girls, because I know there's a lot of new agents out there, not even new agents. If you just kind of feel like stuck in a rut right now, don't know how to grow, this should be the time that you're picking up business and growing and learning and so forth. Give us, there's our question box there, so make sure you're asking questions. Michelle will be letting us know what the questions are.
2 questions.
But where I'm trying to get at is we've been up and we've been down. At least I know I have. I have fallen on my ass so many times. I have gotten up, and let me tell you right now, it's like ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
Growing, but very hard.
Yeah.
So we never want you to feel like you're there's no hope in real estate, because there is. Okay. What questions do we have so far?
So far we have, what's your favorite part of being in the business?
What's your favorite part, Heather? What's your favorite part of being in the business?
Well, okay, I will say I have many favorite parts, but the one, I love the fact that I can set my own schedule, that yes, we're like essentially on call as doctors, but not doctors pay sometimes, but like we are on call, but I get, sometimes I'm just like doing charity work, but it's fine, because at the end of the day, I can spend my whole day working from home with my puppies, with wherever I want to go. I worked from Cancun. Like you cannot beat that kind of scenario where you control how and where you do your business.
Exactly.
And also, I think that most people that go to like a 9 to 5, they're just stuck. Like they're stale, or there's really no room for growth. And like with agents, you could be an agent that's doing 1 deal a year. You could be an agent that's doing 100 deals a year. It's up to you what you want to do, what your capacity is.
Yes.
And I think that the sky is truly the limit.
It is truly the limit. So it's like my friend says, you can either write the check or write your name on the back of the check. Right. That is, I didn't really grasp that. So Gina, if you're out there, I took that from you.
I had to think about that one for a second, and then I got it.
Yeah, she's there. She's there. So meaning, the sky is the limit with your business, but how hard are you going to work for it, and who's going to be cheering from behind with you, right, or on the side of you, or next to you, whatever. So that is what you love about.
I would say that's one of my favorite parts of this industry. Okay. And when you're done asking them, you better ask us the worst parts of the industry.
Oh, I am, because that's what I want to answer. Yes, and that's what we're going to do. What about you? How do you feel about your business now? Like, what's the best part that you have?
And that's exactly what she says is what I take it. Like, this business gives you the opportunity to go to where you want to. Like when I was in the, in the law enforcement, you have a certain salary, right? Or you hours. So many overtime that you can make. But this business, you work if you want to make money, but of course you have to work. You can. Correct. You don't have anybody to tell you, okay, no, it's for only 5 days. If you say, like, if you set an expectation or a goal for, I don't know how much you want to make, you can do that. Within this business, of course, you have to put the work, and that's why a lot of people, have to get that part.
Exactly. I love that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same thing. We make our own schedules. The good thing about this business is there's enough for everybody.
I love that.
So
did you hear that, guys? There's enough for everybody.
And it's up to you to go and get it, and whatever you want, it's there, and it's available. You just have to do it.
Exactly, guys. And just like each of them had said, is that what pushes me is the relationship. So I know I love to meet new people all the time. I'm a social butterfly. So what more of a business? I loved serving my inmates. Don't get me wrong.
It's fun.
Yeah, I used to be the one in the jail. Like, what do you want? What do you want? Oh, like I'm like counting all the soaps. You need 5 soaps. They're like, calm down. No. Okay. You're giving way too much.
I feel like the inmates are going to start writing you. They're going to be like, Jackie, how are you?
Yeah,
we could use some soap.
We need some soap. But long story short, I feel too that relationships are just so super important, and I think that's what kind of has driven me. And then I just learned to love the business. Once you learn to love the business, everything just flows naturally along with you. Did I miss that question?
No, you nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. Okay,
nailed it.
What about the second question?
The second question is, what is the newest, hottest areas that are popping up in El Paso?
The newest, hottest areas. What can you say?
Everywhere now.
I kind of feel, here. Start this a party hall.
Horizon has really surprised me. Everything that is going new, it comes to Horizon. You know, they're getting it so nice. Their roads
Guys,
are beautiful.
yes.
Their landscaping is gorgeous.
And they have Amazon.
They have Amazon.
Yeah.
Guys, that is just it's
Edgemere, that area, it's Edgemere, East Lake
It's
is
like-
getting the one of the hottest area in El Paso right now. So
Like the
that
shopping
area,
center
that-
too. It's
yeah,
kind of like
around
the
the,
West
Just
the
like
East,
his
the
name.
East Lake Market
There you
Center,
go.
and then the Amazon and all the area, it's growing so fast, and that's one of the hottest
Yes.
area right now.
I don't know if you guys remember Horizon though. I had a really good friend Andrea that lived in Horizon, and we used to have to take like a
I was gonna say,
dirt road.
I grew up in
Yeah.
Horizon, and
You
back in 20 years ago, or even probably longer, when my parents moved there, it was just a retired community, and it was just the golf course and older community, and that was it. And now it's insane.
It's
We didn't have
really
a Walmart,
beautiful, guys.
nothing.
No Walmart, no nothing. But I hear all that's gonna come after once they
Well,
start
there's a Walmart
opening
now.
a big supermarket.
Yeah, there's a big
Oh,
supermarket.
nice! Did you
Yeah.
hear that, guys? So I haven't been down that way, but to see the Amazon building, I was like, oh my god, this place is going to be really helpful for people looking for jobs and the growth of El Paso. Horizon is one, East El Paso is another. Far
I mean, there's
East,
always like little niches of subdivisions that have never stopped being the hottest places in El Paso.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's limited inventory on most all resales, and in general anywhere right now.
let's
So-
talk about that, Heather. Let's talk about the
Well,
limited.
okay.
That's one of our questions.
You know, we are in a crazy market. We've been in a crazy market. I would say all the way up until the beginning of last year, it was normal for like January, and then none of us knew what was going to happen by February and March.
Yeah.
That was, I think, March is when I bought all these canned goods that I still have on my table. Like, I don't even really eat half the stuff that I bought, but I'm like, oh my god, we're all gonna die. Let me get some canned goods. So I got a bunch of
Or
canned
the
goods.
toilet paper. You get toilet paper?
Well, I did not ever have to worry about like the toilet paper shortage.
Why not?
She's like, wash that ass.
Water.
Because I got a bidet. I got a bidet.
Oh, excuse me. She has a bidet.
No, because I just plan accordingly.
Now I'm really wintering.
I really don't know why. I don't know why.
Baby wipes.
That's not a bad alternative, by the way. But
Oh my gosh.
whatever.
How do you turn the air on?
I know, I'm trying to warm in here. And your goddamn is your mimosa and Mike's is something else. I forgot what we were talking about.
Toilet paper.
No, okay, so after the
paper.
toilet paper. So the crazy market, I would say like there was 2 weeks in March where I don't think I did any show. I didn't do much because I was like, what is gonna happen? Where are we going? What's gonna happen with the sellers, the buyers, whatnot? And then after a little bit, we were always considered essential, which is great because we are essential, we are very important, and then home selling and buying does not stop.
Mhm.
So from then on, I was like, okay, we're adapting. Whatever's going to come of it comes of it. And so for me, I didn't put too much pressure on it because I figured like day by day, I'm going to go with the flow because nobody else is going to have the answers. We're all going through this together.
Everybody nationwide was going through this.
Everybody,
altogether.
yeah. So it's like, what am I going to call you and be like, oh my God, how are you dealing with this? Like, you're going to be like, oh, well, I don't know yet. I'm doing it right now as I speak.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you just kind of have to like take every day, have goals every day.
Mhm.
But what I really, really thought was important was that like you really minimize your goals to where you're focused on the day to day because you can't predict what's going to happen tomorrow for this market. You can't predict what's going to happen for COVID. You can't predict what's going to happen when the elections happen. Like you cannot predict those things. So you have to really be flexible to adjust. But the market has been sellers, which is ideal. And as a listing agent, I mean, you're going to have a tough time whether you list or as a buyer's agent.
Yes, I
Because-
agree. If you guys agree, give me an emoji, hands up. If you are having like some type of difficulty, I'm gonna put my feet up too. Okay, and let you know it's both sides.
Yeah.
Both
Yep.
sides.
As a seller's agent, you're going to have like, oh my God, so much work, so much with the multiple offers. Like I have had probably hundreds of offers on all the listings that not on individual listings, but
Yeah.
like in total, when I would have probably had one on each, you
Yes.
know? So it's a lot of work, but it's great for the seller. On the buying side is where I think most of the frustration is coming out right now because nobody can seem to get into a property or get their clients into a property.
Yeah.
So like I know for me, I absolutely had to change my platform with buyers.
Correct.
I'm like a tough love agent. I really
You see
want
this guy?
I really want it to be firm but like respectful of boundaries. But
Correct.
if we don't tell them the truth about the reality of the market, they're going to lose out. And I don't care if you like my approach or not, I'm going to get you a home.
Exactly.
And it's not to say that I'm just very aggressive. And you have to be, and I've never been that aggressive before because I never had to be. But I tell my clients, my buyer clients, I strategize with them. This is what we have to do. This is what we're going to do. Are you okay with that? Do you have any recommendations? That's why they hire me, you know, or that's what I'm getting paid for. So
Exactly.
that was probably my biggest adjustment.
I really like that too, is that, you know, having me too on the seller side, it's a breeze because they get all these offers. It's the best time for them to cash out and make the most amount of money. But it's the buying side that each of us and the agents have, you know, seen that it's been so difficult to compete against. We don't even know because we don't know the other side. If it's 15, if it's 30,000,
100. I heard 96.
96,000. I've never heard. That's
no,
ridiculous.
96 offers.
Oh
Oh,
God.
that's
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's just
Like for me,
ridiculous.
I would have
allow
never.
that.
I would not
Yeah.
allow that past 10.
Yeah, exactly. How long are you guys getting it then on the market then on your listing side? Are you doing a couple of days, 2 days? Are you doing 2 weeks like some
No,
people who
no,
are holding it a
No,
week
I
off?
think 8, you know, I think that's
That's it.
enough.
Yeah.
You know, like there's
Yeah.
no point. They're all gonna come in similar. And you might as well just pick one of these. And it saves time for the buyer's agents too, because you don't want to get them to submit offers knowing that they're probably not even gonna have a chance. So.
And
Exactly.
they're not realistic. You can like kind of pinpoint if you're more seasoned. If you have 5 offers and you have all these similar offers, but then you have like 2 that are just outrageous, and then the seller's like, "Oh my god, I want that one." I'm like, "No, you don't, because you just don't want it."
Yeah.
You just don't want it because first you don't know if it's gonna appraise,
Yeah.
and you got to make sure that if it doesn't appraise, they're gonna pay the difference. But who in the right mind, or there are some clients that are doing that still, but
Right.
you got to make sure to educate them that if it doesn't, they're waiving that addendum of it and not appraising. So they're gonna have to pay that difference, then the down payment, then the closing costs, and then it just tacks on.
Right.
So I mean, those are ones that we do too, is we eliminate.
Yeah.
So the best offer isn't always, it's not always best and highest.
Right.
You can't say give me your best and highest. You know,
Because
you-
highest
it-
doesn't mean shit.
highest doesn't mean shit.
Honestly.
Yeah,
No, it
it's
doesn't.
the terms and how you're gonna get that
Right.
deal to close at the end of the
Right.
sale.
Yeah.
Right? What
That's-
about you, Yuhaira? How have you dealt with this?
Okay, I mean, same in March. No, I had a.
What she said.
No,
What she
no.
said.
I have to remember. I sent her a text already
To
to
her
try to say whatever I wanted to say.
I'm actually speaking on behalf of the I'm not actually talking about my own experiences. I'm really relaying through Yahaira.
Okay, so in March I usually get a business plan every year. So in March I was like, you know what? This is gonna be a day to day, like day by day, because clients. And one of the things that I think it's tough for buyer agents right now, it's like I used to be in the house whatever time and then we see a listing that meet the criteria for one of my clients. I can be out, I'll be calling them like, hey, I don't care if you're in PJs, like if I don't care, you have to get to the house right now.
Yes.
If not, we're not gonna have a chance.
Yes.
So those are the things that I know it's been super hard because, when you are used to kind of like following schedule and now you're jumping around like crazy, but we have to do what we have to do to make it happen. And that's one of the things that I think it's been a little bit different this year. But other than that, it's a day and still the same. Like I still doing it day by day and serving the best.
Correct.
Yes.
Do you want this to be over? This
I
whole
actually, yes.
I think it's a lot, and it's so like fast paced that there's no like personnel. You can't have that conversations that you used to with your sellers, and and it's just it's so fast and in and out, and I'm like, and then we can't even attend closings. We can't, you know,
Yes,
it's so,
yes.
you know,
That kind of hurt
Very
me a lot
personal.
too, was not being able to hold the closings. There are some people that were like, why aren't you going to my closing? But some title companies were allowing it, some weren't. So I totally agree on the being the personable type. It kind of eliminated from all of this.
Yeah,
And
and
right,
even
it's
with
not used to
title
it.
companies, lenders, you know, like
Yeah.
they used to
Yeah.
pick up their phone and chit
Yes.
chat, and now it's just like, I'll send you a quick email, quick update. that's it.
Exactly.
It's so fast.
And I've mentioned it before. I think on some of my lives or my posts, I'm totally frustrated.
Yeah.
I really am. I'm frustrated more on the buying side because we do have people that are on the list of homes and there's nothing, or there's multiple offers, or we lose an offer. So have you guys gone through that at all?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah,
like,
all the
losing?
And it's very
Many
emotional for
times.
the buyers. You know, like us as
Yeah.
realtors, we're used to it. You know, we know there's going to be another house or whatnot,
Yes.
but these buyers are getting frustrated. They're getting discouraged,
Yeah.
and they, and sometimes we end up losing, or we'll just buy another day. You know, it's not for us and whatnot. So
Yes.
it's very emotional for the buyers.
Yeah. So you guys hear that? I know there's probably buyers out there, or of all over, right, on our social media, because we're all tagged on there. But I've always said this too: is be patient with your real estate agent, because it's a total change for everybody. But I promise you this: we are giving our 100% to be able to find you the home. I have got calls from other buyers that have called and said, this agent isn't working for me. I've lost 4 offers. What is it that they're not doing? And I'm like, you know what? Respectfully,
Take a number.
Take a number, honey.
It does. I mean, it's so unprecedented that, like, of course, it makes it look like we're not doing shit because,
Yeah.
it's like, who wants to submit? I think at one point, my biggest month gap was like between April, maybe August, where I had a few clients that just constantly were getting beat out, and there was like one after the next. I'm like, oh my god, and nothing was even solid, nothing was in concrete, nothing was there. I had one client in particular, she's a longtime client of mine, funny as hell, and luckily she had a good sense of humor, but we went to this beautiful, beautiful house that she just absolutely loved. We put in an offer, we found out we were the best, highest offer, like best terms around, and the goddamn seller went with somebody who wrote a letter. And I'm like, and then my client was like she's, the good thing is that she was more of like a friend, so she was just pissed off at them, not me. But she was like, "Who does not want more money?" I'm like, "Hell if I know." Yeah.
Wow.
And it's frustrating because it's one of those things, and then I hear it's like it's really unethical to write letters and blah blah blah. But like to be honest, if I'm a listing agent, I won't even look at letters. I won't even have my seller look at them.
It's probably not even worth the time anymore. Is that they're probably going to look at the other terms more than anything. But going back to what I was mentioning before too, as far as those clients, those people calling me, and I just literally tell them, I'm sorry, you need to probably reevaluate back with your real estate agent, because it's not them. Go and have a conversation with them, have a meeting with them. But I promise you this, you need to go back and you need to have a conversation to let them know how you feel, because I just felt like if I bring them over, it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing that agents could do better, like realtors could do better, is really preparing their clients, whether the clients like it or not, for the truth and the reality. Because yes, I've never gone through this. No, most people haven't either. I have been a buyer, I've been a seller, I've been a realtor, I am a realtor. But it's like, you have to be straight up with your clients and say, okay, here's where we're at. Good luck. This is how we're going to approach it. If you don't like the way that I work, we can't work together, because I'm not going to be spending 6 months on 20,000 offers that didn't go through.
It's so true.
Because they're like, well, do you think that if we offer a little less than list or whatnot or this? I'm like, nope. You want it? You gotta do it my way.
Yeah, you want it, you gotta go for it.
Yeah.
It's like
I always tell them, this is not the time to negotiate, this is the time to win.
No, just
Hi guys,
She
we're
broke the
back.
internet with that.
Thank you so much for the commercial.
Our sponsors.
Sponsored by.
We need more sponsors, by the way, so if you do want to sponsor, contact Michelle. But where were we again? Let's pick that up. That was good.
This time. It's not the time to negotiate offers. It's the time to win. So when you're dealing with a buyer, you have to let them know, like going lower or trying to offer or ask for closing costs or all this stuff. It's not gonna happen. So you want it, we have to win this.
Yep.
And the way to do it is
Exactly.
And we're more valuable when we can assist people the right way.
I agree with you on that. What about you, Isabel? As far as like the negotiation, I kind of came into some like, how can I say this? Some if you list a house today, like anybody, you're gonna sell it.
Right.
You're gonna sell it. It could be a new agent, a seasoned agent, whatever. You're gonna sell it. Where I fell into a lot is negotiating on the other side with the agent, who kind of didn't know what they were doing, and we've lost the deal that way. So that's a big factor that I fell into a lot
As a seller?
as a buying agent
With the seller's agent.
with the seller's agent. So I kind of feel the negotiations are so super important. So it's new right now. COVID, this is a new transition, I think, for everybody to know what's a good offer, what's not a good offer, what to accept and not to accept, and the whole terms of the contract, right? So I think we need a little bit more training out there. What would you
100%.
suggest as far as agents out there, especially with COVID, on trainings or, getting that mentorship?
Oh, that's tough. I mean, it's sometimes it's good to go to your broker. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you have to look at other possibilities. You go to YouTube, you go to website seminars, and you learn. You learn as you go because, like you said, it's new to all of us. And you learn from other agents as well. Like for me, when I see a listing agent that I absolutely love or that I respect, I'm like, oh yes, thank God, because I know it's going to be
That's huge. Like I think relationship is a huge factor to this market, because if you're a listing agent and you have 12 offers and you look at the people and you see, okay, maybe some of the realtors have disappointed in the past, maybe they haven't come through, maybe they are not good agents, because there is a lot out there. You look at all the criteria of what will get this to the closing table. And at the end of the day, I mean, relationships are a key factor to that too.
Good point, relationships. And the reason why I had mentioned that is because I had two agents. They're very, very, very aggressive agents here in El Paso. One had called us and said, we're going to go with your offer for the reason being, I don't have time for games.
Right.
There you go.
And I'm like, oh my God.
And it's true, though.
Thank you. You're damn right. I was like, and we don't have time for games either. And we got it to the table. And when we submitted again on one of her other listings, we took it.
Yeah.
Then we went to see an open house in the Upper Valley. It was like, there was like 20 people inside that house. And the agent, I heard her say this. She said, we're probably just going to keep, on the next one, she said, we're going to probably just keep, on the next listing, we're going to keep it in office. Is that right?
No.
I just need your opinion on that. Like,
I don't think so.
no, right?
No, I mean, that limits, your seller. So.
It's doing injustice to your seller.
Exactly.
Like it's injustice to your seller.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of shady agents out there that do a lot of things very forwardly and not so forwardly, and they'd be dumb to say that to my face.
Yeah.
But
guys.
that's okay. And I'm not gonna.
We're looking.
We're gonna use some agents.
Better share the
Who want to
listing.
be exclusive
and
to
you have to remember, this is not gonna be forever. So this is a market that you don't want to break those relationships, because this is gonna be, again, it's I don't know how long it's gonna be, but it has to go back to normal. So you have to be careful what you do.
Yeah, because we're in it for the long term. We've been in the business
Yes.
for a long time,
Yes.
so I want to make sure that my reputation stays good, and whoever I'm going to work with, I'm going to make sure that we're going to do it right. And I hate the realtors that are always out to like fight or argue, and I'm like, why are we going to argue? Like, let's just
Did
get
you go
to
through
it.
that at all?
Yeah.
I bet I
Yeah,
went through
it's
that.
just like,
Yeah.
to me, it's like your seller wants to sell, my buyer wants to buy, or vice versa. Let's just get through it.
It's
Yeah,
like, are
exactly.
you selling the house or is your seller selling the house? So remember, we're just the middle person.
I don't get emotional as much anymore as I used to get anxious dealing with other realtors that had like that attitude or like this Oh, I've never liked the like, oh my god, you know how long I've been in the business? Like 2 years. I'm like, you suck then and you suck now. What are you gonna say? Like, okay. I'm like, I've been living for 33 years. I'm not that great at it. Sometimes, you know, like whatever.
That I didn't tell her.
You said that.
It wasn't no,
I'd be
no.
happy to hide up.
We have a couple of questions, guys, that we can answer.
It's what way do you ladies find best to market yourselves? And
Okay.
what works best for you?
Okay, who wants to go first?
Social media is the way to go.
I can say
Yeah,
social
she's
media
good.
it's been one of the best. Like I have to tell you, like lately, even though that we are not having that interaction with the people anymore, but I go to stores and then people, oh, I saw you on Facebook. I know you. I know you. I was like, oh my goodness, okay.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I don't like to dress. Like, but then social
She's
media-
like, oh my god, I just came from running 5 miles.
when I didn't even go to the gym. Right
Yeah.
now. But that's I think social media is a huge thing, especially now that we don't do it open houses like we used to do before. We don't get to see or meet clients that we used to. So we have to. That's been working, and I think that's the way that's the business gonna go.
Correct.
To the next.
I mean, millennials are purchasing properties now, and they're all about social media, Instagram and whatnot. So if you want to get millennials to purchase from you, you have to do it on social media.
You guys gotta do it on social media. You, Heather? Same thing?
I would say that I do think there's some benefits that have come from this COVID era, whatever. I've never really been a huge fan of open houses because I never saw my own listings at open houses. And I do feel like the point of an open house is to generate buyers, which can be great for your business, but I don't personally think that benefits the seller. So I feel like if I do have any type of listings where I have open houses, I'll have other people do them because I'm there for the seller.
Yeah.
Now, on the side of the social media, I mean, that's also my biggest platform, but I don't do too much marketing. We were talking about the other day that like, I've never spent much money on marketing, and I'm kicking myself thinking like, how much more could I be doing?
Yeah.
But again, I think the past couple of years, it's all client relationships. It's all word of mouth. I have many clients that are repeat customers because I do a lot of investing business. So that for me keeps me happy.
Would you be able to tell maybe the one who asked the question or the audience like that you can touch back on your past clients? Do they need like a database, or how do you function that to maybe a Popeye? Who knows Popeyes by Buffini? Things like that. Like what would you tell them and going back to their clients and
You have to
touching
go back to
them?
the basics.
Yeah.
You know, you have to, when we all start in the industry, I mean, we all had different mentorship. We all had different, excuse me, can I have a
Running empty here, sir.
Keep it flowing.
You should have already been in here.
Really good.
See,
Yeah.
this is going next week, and that's
I
one of
saw
my
that.
last nights.
And
And that's
okay.
And you have to reconnect with your past clients, even though you have to do social media, but you don't forget your old ways.
Yes.
So you have to call your clients. You have to be in touch all the time. You never know if they what situation they're going. Sometimes they're in really bad situation. They don't want to call you but you call them and hey, they're going through a divorce and something like that, and they don't want to. But you there, you help them not only to get to the listing or sell the house, but also to help them to go through
whatever they're going through.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times, this is a sales business that we do basically. But what I think a lot of us forget to do is
Yes,
we
that's
tend to
true.
forget we are realtors, but we tend to
I
forget.
don't know.
Why does it look fuzzy?
Don't worry about it.
We tend to forget that relationship part of our business. So super important that we always remember that you cannot leave that relational part of the transaction. You're not here to make it. It's not supposed to be transactional. It's supposed to be relational. So if you can go back and maybe a simple text message to them, a little video to them, just saying that you're thinking about them. You should try it. Pick 5 people that you have sold to in the past, whatever, a couple of months of your new years. 5 people just to touch base with them, you're gonna see the response back. It's
Yeah.
enormous.
And get to know your clients too. You know, like if you're out in the store, my so-and-so client, she loves dogs or whatnot, and you just pick it up and take it to her, you know, or whatever. It could be anything. So you get to know them and
The kids, the birthday parties, who's getting married, who's having a new baby. Those are all things that you should have in your database when it comes to keeping them in your database.
Yeah, it's a very thoughtful business if you do it the right way. Because most people don't forget. Most people forget the like human relationship part of it. They just see everybody as a number or a sale or this or whatever, a quota. But it can really benefit you because some people I know spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on marketing.
Mhm.
One of the reasons is because they don't build those relationships.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, to me, marketing, in my opinion, too, that's helped me is social media. So make sure you're in every platform. You know, Instagram. I use a lot of Instagram now. I have my Facebook. I've had that forever. So I feel like I can't get away with that. And all this new crap is
Every
like
time I
really
get a new
bugging
friend
me.
request though, it's gonna be mutual friends Heather, mutual friends Jackie, mutual friends Heather. Always.
Or scammers. I was like, oh, you live in Germany and you want to get to know me? No,
It's just really weird. But use your social media for your marketing. It's free. So
It is free,
I mean, unless you're gonna boost a couple of things, you spend a couple of dollars on it. But your social platforms is free. What other marketing do we do? Just basically that. It's just a lot of video and Instagram and Facebook and things like that.
Mhm.
And Popeyes. Go pop by your past clients. Yeah, like what are we now? April? Maybe you drop off some peeps. I don't know. Heida's gonna do the little their jars.
I think we're
What are
still
they
in
called?
March.
What's in them?
That's
Candy.
for
Candy. How cute.
like
For
Easter, yeah. It's
What does it
so,
say?
Oh, that my name.
So it just has her logo on the top.
Wow.
It's a little clear jar. I think you could even get those at the Dollar Tree, maybe a little bow, and let's go. You know? So you gotta do the other stuff that the other realtors aren't doing. Okay, so make sure you maybe door knock. I know it's hard right now with COVID, but you could probably do door hangers.
You know what's a really good tip that I used to do when I would door knock is I would take whatever listing I had in the neighborhood that I had, I would door knock the neighbors around it and let them know, hey, my name is Heather Hermson, I'm here selling this house. So if you have anybody that you want to have as your neighbor, maybe they would be interested in taking a look at it. Or if you know anybody looking to sell or buy in this neighborhood, you know, keep me in mind. And then I would give them my business card and the flyer of the house and things like that. And it was very casual because I didn't go there just saying, hey, are you looking to buy or sell? I went there specifically to say, hey, I'm the listing agent for the property 2 doors down. I want to introduce myself. And also, if you see anything weird going on by my listing, if you wouldn't mind, just shoot me a text.
That's awesome. Guys, that's super easy and anybody can do that. It just takes your time. So remember, if you feel you're gonna be in this industry for a long time, these are the things that you can start doing. Okay. What other things can we help our realtors out there? Women.
Well, I was
What we
going
tell
to
these
say,
women.
me personally, I feel like a lot of people forget that a huge part of the transaction and how you benefit your buyer and or seller is the relationship that you have with the agent when you're in the deal. I have had so many disrespectful mother effers of agents.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna tell you who
We
they
want to
are.
know.
We all probably know who they are. So everybody probably has one in the mind or two in mind. But you know, it's just one of those things where, okay, yes, you can be great getting your offer accepted, or as a listing agent, you know, don't have this inconvenient attitude or arrogance or whatnot. Like, we're all in it.
Yeah.
And so if your attitude is great in the beginning, have it last throughout the closing, because your lender might suck, your appraiser might suck, your home, you know, whatever else, title, whatever, whoever's involved, there's so many people involved on one transaction.
That's true.
And so I never liked agents going at each other because it's stupid. It's like, okay, what are we fighting about? It's none of our houses, you know? So I think that that's a huge thing, is play nice with others.
Yeah, guys, I think that's really important too, is play nice, be respectful towards one another. I think I lost my top one time with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just
I had a lady.
I wanted to call back and be like, I'm so sorry, like for me acting like a jackass.
That's
That
happened
was
to me before too. Like the next morning, you're like,
yeah, I was like, it was so
You're like, I was just going through a mood.
No, I just got through a mood. I'm so sorry, but I felt really bad because that's not like me, you know.
Yeah.
And you know what? I didn't pick up the phone and apologize, but maybe I'll do it now. But that was one time that it blew my top off. Was like because I was like, I couldn't take it anymore, you know.
but you probably had a reason to.
I had a reason. It was like kind of attitude-ish and
Yeah.
very like ego, and I just kind of sat.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, I like to help other people that are out there. So if there's something that I notice, like on the contract, I'm not over here, you know, letting the other person know, degrading them in any way. It's, hey, you missed this. Just next time, you know, maybe put.
He's like 12.
And we're back. Thank you for that commercial again. But leadership is, and this is why I brought these beautiful women, and not only that, very knowledgeable and respectful agents in El Paso, because I feel like we have to hold that torch in some way or another. I really don't see a lot of that here in El Paso. I don't know if it's diminished. I don't know if it's because I'm hardly out there anymore. But do you agree that maybe we could come together a little bit
This is
more?
a teamwork. It's
Teamwork.
we're working together. We're even though we can be representing the seller or the buyer, we want to get to the closing table the same way.
Yeah.
So it's a teamwork. It has to be to make it, you know,
Yes.
work. But I know a lot of agents don't see it like that, but you have to change your mentality in your mind because it won't be beneficial to your client. Can be the buyer and the seller to have the attitude.
Yeah.
So we are here to make it happen.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and it's a transaction for selling or buying. It's a lot of emotions already on your clients. So you have to be the one, putting everything.
Yeah.
If you're emotional, you are like
And you're gonna
crazy.
stress out your
Yeah.
clients. Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
only the other side, the clients, the lender. So it's a lot. So
Yeah.
we have to.
And even how you deliver the news to your clients, you know, if you're like, say, if you're freaking out or you're pissed off or whatnot, then they're gonna take it the same way. But if you're calm and you tell them, okay, this is what happened, this is the solution, and we're gonna get through it,
Yes.
then
Exactly.
then
That's
they'll
a
be a
very
little
good
bit
one.
more calm versus if I don't know what to do and this is this, you
And
know.
oh my God, this never happened.
Yeah,
and
then they're gonna be
XYZ.
like, what the heck? And
Because at the end of the day, they're depending on us. But again, that's why we gotta do buyers consultations in the very beginning, set the expectations, and then always remind them that you're there to fight for them. But what other things that it's Women's Month. I see Women's International Women Empowering Women. What do you guys take from that as far as like us being women in real estate? Let's talk a little bit about the families because I know that do we have questions?
No.
No? Okay. Let's talk about a little bit how we handle our schedules. Like let's start with Heather. Tell us how you wake up like a princess in the morning and like
Tell myself
you're just
my,
glowing.
just my,
and-
just my motivational mindset.
like this.
I always see her with her cute puppies, and I'm like, God,
How could one not
on
when
your
you're happy?
horses. I need to ride a horse.
Yes, it makes you sore.
Yes.
In what area?
This is not appropriate. No, in my calves. No, I would say when I wake up in the morning.
No way.
I tell myself.
Should I change the question?
No, say that one.
When you
Say
wake
that
up
one.
in the morning,
Say that one. No, she's directing me now.
Give us time. Yeah, give us time. What you're doing when you shower.
Okay, so no,
Fast
but
forward
honestly,
when you start working.
honestly, when I wake up in the morning, I really do try to take a little bit of time to be grateful. My mindset is something that I never paid much attention to until the last couple of years. And my fiance, he's very, very, very spiritual and very holistic. He's very into that stuff. So of course, when you're with somebody, you sort of like melt into them. You kind of become a little bit of what they do. And so he's helped me really figure out that tell yourself that you are healthy, happy, wealthy, all these things that you just remind yourself daily of. And it's crazy because I'm not really into like I'm not a know-it-all on any of these subjects, but I feel like it's exciting when I have bad anxiety.
Yeah.
And I think it's because
I have a little bit of that too.
it's just normal when you
Maybe
have
a lot,
business.
no.
Yeah, you probably don't even realize how much
I
you
developed
have.
it like high blood pressure.
We're like in a high intense situation
Yes.
daily. You know, like anybody that wants to make an appointment with me, I do have a tight schedule at times, but then it's like I have to keep openings for things that I just know are gonna pop up. So I think that you develop like a little bit of an anxiety because you're doing 500 things at once.
Yes.
So what's funny, because I was like really into numerology, and so anytime I see like the same number repeated, like it's 1111, it's 1234, it's 222, like I always look at it and I'm like, I know I have to take a breath. So that's something that really works in my favor as far
I
as
like that.
yeah, it's just really nice. And then really you have to focus on yourself to be better for somebody else or your business. And so like in my personal life, you know, my fiance runs his own business too. So the good thing is that he can relate to the scheduling, because the scheduling is not 9 to 5, it's 24 hours. I get text messages super late at night, group chats on our brokerage page. I have to silence everything, you know. So it's all those things where in a normal circumstance, it would create a lot of doubt. It will create a lot of tension. It will create a lot of like those negative emotions. But I think you have to just know, like, hey, I'm telling you how my life is. You're gonna see it first and foremost, but like I'm preparing you for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what helps us. I think it's more difficult when one partner is like a typical employee and one is not. And then of course my puppies. My puppies make me happy.
Yes, she's very cute puppies.
Mhm.
Yeah. Follow her, Heather Armstrong. Okay, so you get up in the morning, you
I tell myself how amazing I
okay,
am.
how amazing you are in numerology.
I get on my emails.
Okay.
I start hitting
lipstick on the mirror.
on my cheek.
Okay.
I'm like, today's gonna be an 11/11 working. And then I check Facebook. And it's funny, and you know what's funny?
This is Heather.
What do you want? I mean, that's where I get all my business from most of it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that it's so organic. People don't realize that. And like, people are always like, oh my God, you're always on your phone. Like, oh yeah, I'm on my phone. I guess how much money I make on my phone, you know? Like, I'm not gonna say sorry for the way I run my business, because
You should never.
Yeah.
Because your business is different from hers.
because my business ain't your
From mine.
business, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know,
Okay, well that's good. Do you do date nights or anything?
oh yeah,
Or-
we like to have a lot of fires at our house. Like we have the fire campfire outside.
I love
We do a lot of hiking. We play music and we enjoy some libations and we just have a good time.
Oh, so romantic.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty much
That's
my
my
life.
I know.
I mean, hey,
By the time you get to me, I'll be like, girl, you need to start that fire. Numerology, 1111.
how to spark your romance numerology.
Fire. You hide that?
I also wake up.
What time? And the reason I'm asking the time is there's some people that want to know.
Yeah.
Like,
I
they
would
want to
like
know
to
5, 6, 7, 8.
I do like
Yeah,
to
I wake up at 5 a.m. So I know it's crazy. It's having last week my son was in spring break. It wasn't the same. So, but 5 a.m. because I have to do that. I have to do meditation. I read. I read pretty much every day.
Yes.
So I have to do that.
What do you read?
Different books.
Well, like what kind of books? Like
Ah.
naughty books?
I'll tell you later. Some positions that I
She's
need
like,
to show you.
She's like, you might have the same.
But yeah, I had to read it because I think that helped me to go through the day and then also kind of like calm my mind because I'm a little bit hyper sometimes. So I
Don't
have
worry,
to,
I am too.
Yeah. So then did I have to say
Yes.
anything else?
Do you do
a
any
shower?
exercise? You shower, then you eat breakfast, then you exercise, then you come
No,
get
I
ready
don't
for work.
exercise. But yeah,
Okay.
I don't think any of us do much exercise.
say one, Poppy?
Okay, we're back.
Oh, we're back.
We're back. Thank you so much,
you.
Drew. Again. I don't know what's going on with the internet. But okay, Isabel,
Keep
get down with
reading.
us because you have very beautiful children
you.
that I see her on Facebook. I see her. It's like I like Facebook. You get to kind
get
of
to
see
see
what
it,
everybody's
yeah.
doing. Tell us
So
about
for
what you
me,
do.
I mean, first and foremost, I'm a mom. So I wake up and it's for the kids. You know, you have the little one that she's 4 years old, so you have to feed her. You have to get her ready. You have to, and the older ones, you know, they're already on their own pretty much on their schedule since they're teenagers. But yeah, first thing is take care of the kids, feed them, and then that's when I'm able to, you know, I'll get ready and then I'll start doing what I have to do for work. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's mom first,
Mom first.
and then I am able to be professional.
Okay.
So
then
if
she
you
goes
call
to
me
work.
at 7 a.m., you're gonna hear my 4-year-old screaming, and Heather has heard her multiple
Oh my
times.
god, her daughter Raylene is like my little
Yeah.
spirit animal.
Oh my
She is,
God.
yeah, she's. And then I go to the closet, I hide in the closet, and she follows me, and she's screaming in the closet, and I'm like,
You're like, oh my God, just give me 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes she'll call me and then Raylene will talk to me or say hi or whatnot, and then she'll try talking again, and I'm like, did you just cut Raylene?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not done talking to your daughter.
And so if you can notice, there's kids here. We all have kids and puppies, and those are her kids.
Yeah.
They are. We
Yeah.
love them so much. You
Yeah.
know, I love Max too, but my puppy, my God, he's just there all the time. He doesn't guard us.
Yeah.
He's just like a little
He's
a little accessory.
Just an accessory.
Yeah.
He's just there all the time, but I love him so much. But again, the same thing with them. We have to balance each other as realtors, as mothers, and then of course as far as our clients. So you know, I do read, and I started myself with the goal to read one book a month. I finished my third one for March. But I will tell you this: it's your mindset completely refocuses and changes. And even if it's just 10 pages.
Yeah.
So
Do you like audiobooks?
I
Yeah,
do.
I do because I can have
Yeah.
them because I'm driving so much.
Yeah.
And I can't really read and drive, so I like the audiobook.
Yeah.
It's like the
It's
apparently it's frowned upon, so I'm
Yeah.
like, who goes?
Yeah, there you go. So audio works as long as you get some type of knowledge from the book, and I kind of find that very interesting.
Sorry, I have to tell you because I have a 17. He's gonna be 17 in Sunday. So he's a model. I know. But when everything started, because I know we're talking about family, and I want to let every agent or every female there. When everything started, like back in March, I remember we were home and I was cooking, I was cleaning, I was taking care of business, I was doing pretty much everything. Mm-hmm. And then you realize that you can do a lot, and then but you have to take care of yourself. That's why I take that time for just before everybody, because we are strong. Like I know we can do a lot of stuff. Yeah. But you have to take care of yourself because you can get that's
exactly what Yahaira said is that you'll see though is that when you do take time for yourself, that first hour, 2 hours, even before maybe the baby wakes up or whatever it is, you like literally have cared for yourself, like you internally, and that can help like just the day go way much better. And it's worked for me. So I get my care out of the way, and then I'm ready to rock and roll here at the office with them. So I get here like at 11. Edgar gets up at 5 in the morning, and then he's like, "Come with me, let's go." There's a lot of girls there, and I'm like, "Nah." My Peloton is fine. I just need 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and I'm done. Like I just can't do although I want to, but I just that's not for me. So there's something works for everybody. Yeah. I know Michelle right here behind me. She does meditation. And I'm gonna try the meditation.
Yeah, I do
she
meditation too.
She says that it helps her so much with the meditation. But the only thing is she comes to work so calm. Mm-hmm. She's like, "Good morning, Jackie." Oh my God, did you get this? Oh my God, did we do this? And what the hell? What about this client? And what? She's like,
you will not interrupt my peace.
You will not interrupt my realm. And I'm like, goodness gracious, I gotta get on her page, right?
It does help you with other agents, like when they project a little bit onto you, or even clients. Sometimes it's just a natural thing that you just take it all internally. But yeah, things like that self-care is really effective
It's so important.
for your own personal like mental health too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I developed a little bit of anxiety this past, I don't know, maybe Edgar, did I develop more than anxiety?
Let's ask him.
So yeah, let's call it that. He's like, you've gone crazy.
I don't know her.
I don't know who she is anymore.
Yeah, but you know, I feel a little better now, you know, taking care of it. But anyways, just trying to give you the daily schedule of Heather, Yahida, Isabel, and myself, that it does function, you know, maybe doing these things that you can take a tip off of and to help yourself, you know, so you can't take care of anybody else if you don't take care of yourself.
Right.
So make sure that you are doing that. What else can we add to the podcast? Have we gone a little longer than expected?
We're over an hour.
And what about comments or anything, questions? You guys want to leave it open?
Does everybody hate us?
Are we so party? What? Yeah. And what is, you know what? Let's have a little toast. And I do want to say something that I always feel like it helps me. It really does. And, you know, social media is an animal out there. And it can make you feel really good. It can make you really feel like shit.
Right.
And it can make you feel like you're not doing things right. It can make you feel like you're not better than somebody else. But never compare yourself to any other person or agent, because that shit can tear you
Yeah.
up.
Social media is
Okay.
the number one fake bullshit disguise. You know, it's like one of those things where people only share the good stuff.
Yeah.
And like, you know, half the people
Some
some
do.
people share fucking everything.
Yeah, there you go.
But
You know?
people only share the successful things in their lives or the falsified things in their lives.
Yes.
I see it a lot on the investment side.
Me too.
People will
Yeah.
share their profits and this, and then I'm like, yeah, but how much did you put down when you bought it in order to make it back? Like you made 90,000, but really you put 80 down, so you made 10.
Correct.
Like, so people are not very honest. It's a very like people want to show up. They want to show up and show off. And I think people forget that like you
Thank
can
you.
ask. You can ask anybody, like new agents that have never been in the business. I would not. I feel very sorry for the agents that started this year and last year. I cannot imagine how it's been to not have any sort of like lead generation tactics to have past clients. Like I can only imagine. But I've always gotten some of the greatest, most valuable advice from other seasoned agents. And I ask, I call those agents that I consider friends or helpful advocates or mentors. I call them and say, hey, you know what? I haven't talked to you in like 3 years. Hope you're doing well. I have a quick question for you. You know, like, so it doesn't, anybody can call me, whether I've worked with you or not, to ask a question that I
And I've called you.
And I've called you.
Heather.
And
We
Yeah.
called, we
Yeah.
mastermind,
Mhm.
and I don't know it all sometimes, you know?
new
And
agents can call us.
They can call, so I do get agent calls. You probably get agent calls, and it makes me feel like, God, I feel good. You
Right.
know,
Okay.
I at least, and I do that on the contract side too, or the sellers, whatever it is, right? But where a very good point that Heather hit is, it's very hard to compare yourself to other people when you're not there yet or you're trying to get there. So give yourself a little break, you know, and I got to remind myself at that times too, is that, you know, I have a very small group here. I can't compare myself to a group that's 8 or
Yeah.
that's 10, that's 20. I can't do that because I'm it's just me, my husband, and now 3 agents, but I can help. That's my whole goal, is to be able to help other people. But, just be respectful of yourself and your goals and set them little by little. If you need that help, you have each and every one of us to reach out to.
Yeah.
I know you're a part of the board. Are you still part of Not Right?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, then, just kidding.
You can still call her.
Just kidding. You can still
Yeah,
call
you can
her.
still call all of us.
Yeah, you can still call all of us when it comes to
I'm a
any
member.
type of question. But she's a member. I'm a member too. I really missed it this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
I saw
me
so
too.
many good people. I had the best freaking time, and that was my first
And then
time
also
going.
the relationship that you create on those, and that's
Yeah.
also a good point for new agents to get involved with an organization that is gonna help you
Yes.
to grow your business. Because I don't want to say anything about any other one. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
So organizations is what she's saying, and community.
Just get involved.
Yeah.
Get involved.
Yeah.
Get involved.
Because if you start out at one broker as a new agent, you are in the broker bubble of that culture, of that company.
Oh,
And it could be
beautiful.
good, it could be
Mhm.
bad. You never know. You could be learning the right way right off the bat. You could be learning a very poor way of doing business right off the bat. That's what happened to me. And when I started getting involved in WCR, YPN, that's when I knew not only could I leave my brokerage, but that the business that I wanted to do was different.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's okay to feel that way. You know, not everybody's business makes sense depending where you are.
Yeah.
But just get involved. That probably was the best thing that ever happened to me in my early years.
Yeah, I think we've
it's
all
true.
done part of the
Yeah.
board, you know.
Yeah.
I did finance, I did the budget, I did WCR as well.
I didn't do anything.
But,
She's like, I ran for governor, but
I didn't make it.
but you know. No, but what I'm saying is, you know, right now obviously we can't do that with COVID, but it was a good way for me to meet other realtors.
Yes.
And you know, you meet them in that setting, and it's not in the transaction. You're meeting them outside that, and it's and it builds that relationship. with
Yeah,
them.
if you don't ask, like I always say, if you don't ask, you'll never know. And it's better just to ask. Nobody's, the worst thing that you're going to be told is no. That's the only little downfall that I had growing up in real estate in El Paso, is that everybody was so secretive.
Yeah.
This is my presentation.
there is also an arrogance.
This is my tools, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to show you what I'm doing. And like Isabel said in the very beginning, there's enough business for everybody. And if any one of us can show you how to grow your business, that's just that's exactly what we're here for, right? Is to be able to do that. But I'm hoping to open up the doors a little bit more with the women realtor community, and not only that, all El Paso community in that matter, because I think El Paso is a hot spot. We're great people. We have a great community. All of you guys are born and raised here?
I am. Just
No,
no.
not you.
Like the transporter.
Chicago.
The transport.
Not the transport. Chicago. And then
Raised in Dominican
in
Republic.
Dominican Republic.
I fell
didn't
in
know that,
love-
by the way.
I fell in love with El Paso as soon as I came, and that's why I never moved. I was like, I'm gonna be a transformer now.
I use that one. That one's better.
Thank you. I think we need a rebranding. Can I share one story? Okay.
No.
So, like back in, I was April, March, maybe like May or June, when all the the multiple offers were just getting crazy. I had a listing and I did receive, I would say about 15 offers on it. And there was one agent in particular, I don't remember her name or her company, but what I took away from her was so humbling, because she was a newer agent and she got beat out, unfortunately, with her offer. It was not a competitive offer, but she actually took the time to email me and said, hey, Heather, you know what? I'm so sorry to bother you. I'm so sorry to ask, but is there any way you can maybe help me figure out, is there any tips or tricks or pointers you could give me to, help with these crazy multiple offer situations? And keep in mind, we're all experiencing that for the first time, because I've never, in all the years I've done this, I don't think I've had more than 2 multiple offer situations on
Me
the listing.
neither.
So it was never I was
Yeah.
like, wow, it's crazy. And so when she reached out and asked me that, all I know was I felt so much gratitude and I felt so humbled that she took the time to ask that question. And I just emailed her and I said, anytime you have any single question, day or night, you ask me, because that, it feels so good.
It feels so good, and when when you have that gratitude and that feeling, it just.
And I wanted her to
I
succeed.
love it.
I was like, I want you to get, if you have another option to do a contract, you call me and I'll help you.
Yeah.
I just wanted her to succeed.
I
so-
wonder if she's still in the business. No, I didn't mean it that way. Follow up with a
Goddamn, way to kill that guy.
me or him.
We were like, I was supposed to around. Shit.
I was about to cry, and then you came with that. I was like, oh my goodness.
She's
I was very excited. I wanted to cry.
Let's clip that shit out. Right?
We can't. We're dying. It's
No, I didn't mean it that way. I was just
Well, good thing I didn't know I don't have her name on there, so.
I wanted to quit many times. Trust me. I'm like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm going to Vegas.
Take off your job.
Take off my job. But anyways, that's another topic.
I want to be on that podcast.
Yeah, we're going to be on that podcast live over there.
Realtors After Hours.
oh. Back in the day, years ago, we used to have all those events, those parties, and
Let me tell you, realtors know how to party.
that's one thing. Party, drink,
And affiliates know how to sponsor things. That's
Yeah.
that's what I miss.
Wait, where are they all?
Wherever you go.
Where's all our affiliates?
They can go on here.
Yeah, they can't come out. COVID and
Yeah.
all kinds kinds of laws going on. But anyways, how do you guys feel about ending the podcast with this? And do you guys want to lay anything out?
Do
Yeah,
you have any questions?
is enough? No?
No
No,
questions?
I just wanna maybe share, or I don't know if you're gonna share our information, number, email, whatever.
Yes.
So
on the
if
banners.
you have any questions, just reach out to any of us. We are always like willing to help, and that's our.
I think with masterminding with these women here of real estate, I think we'll come together with a group. And we'll just put it on. We'll do it like an El Paso women, realtor
That would be
community
awesome.
group, whatever it is.
Professionals,
Yeah.
even, you know.
There you go. Something where we can all. Sorry, Edgar. Get a men's group. I don't know. But for the women.
I
And then,
told Jackie we should do a boys versus girls podcast.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, you don't have a choice, sorry.
He's like, no.
he's scared.
It's on.
Yeah, he's scared. But we'll create that Facebook group. Everybody can have. Even if it's questions, like we'll have like a contract class or a third party, maybe a Haida just have a contract.
Or like how to
Yeah.
deal with honestly like chauvinistic male agents that you deal with. Like,
Exactly.
I mean, and it's not a secret. I mean, it happens. There's a
Yeah.
lot of gender related things that we experience.
Yeah.
But
things like that, and it'll be specifically directed towards that, and it'll be open for the realtor community here. But until then, guys, I want to thank Heather, Yahida, Isabel,
Jackie.
well, I was gonna say Michelle. I was gonna say me or Michelle, and then our
And
coffee
myself.
chulo over there. Stay savvy.
Are you
Thank you
gonna
so
thank
much for
yourself?
sponsoring, and I'll thank myself. Thank you.
Did
For-
you put the number for Stay Savvy?
I think it's on
there.
It was on the banner.
Okay,
And
yeah,
then
we have it on the banner, but if you guys have any information on any of these little carts here, let me know. And we'll get you that info. Until then, guys, God bless. We love you. El Paso, women empower women. Woo!
Oh, we didn't do our cheers.
Cheers! Yeah.